good afternoon or evening, wherever you may be. I'm Gina, and I am the host for the Peace Circle. I am blessed to be here this evening, and I thank you for tuning in. We are here tonight to cover a very sacred topic. We are come together for peace. Every week, that's the purpose, of course, of the Peace Circle, is to be the change we wish to see in the world. We choose to see things differently sometimes than they are. When we look at what's going on outwardly, we can see discord at times. And it often seems like the oneness is not exactly easy to see. But the truth is, it's all within the one. We know the truth is that there is harmony, there is peace, there is beauty. And we come together on Monday nights to be that we may bring it forth in the world. See, I'm not a channel of peace if I'm not peaceful. And when there are seeming blockages, whether it be what go on in the world on the outside or what's going on within me on the inside, I am not bringing forth that which I wish to see in the world. So we come together on a Monday afternoon or evening, depending upon where you are. I'm in Rhode Island, so it's 6 p.m. And we come together for this highest knowing of peace and to be that which we wish to see. And I always begin the Peace Circle with my poem that to me really signifies what it's all about. The poem is, I Too Have a Dream. In my dream, too, we are all equal, not color, religion, nor income defines who we are. Neither country nor region defines us as kin. Whether 2 legs or 4, plant or animal, we were all created of the one Creator, with no greater claim to borrow this beautiful earth. In my dream, we all are one, treating each other with love and respect, and living in peace. We're all truly awake, knowing our purpose, to share love and joy, and to uplift each other, and in doing so, uplift ourselves. In my dream, we each remember and appreciate each other, and truly understand that all is well. It's knowing that regardless of what I see, the truth is all is well. And it's living into the knowing sometimes. That's what faith is all about. So today, our topic is, to me, a very sacred one. It is honoring the body temple. It's actually, the CSL theme is the body this month. And the topic for many centers across the country yesterday was the body temple. And it's knowing that where we are, spirit is. And when we say that, we understand it, we get it, but do we live that way? That's really what we're going to cover this for the next hour. Hey, Zoe, welcome to the Peace Circle. Wonderful to have you here. And I would love, by all means, anybody that has questions or comments, please know that we are live and it's great to hear from you. So over the next hour, we're going to go through some music meditation. We are going to go into some readings and some different things that help us recognize the love and honor the truth of who and what we are. Ernest Holmes, our beloved founder, said in the Declaration of Principles, the manifest universe is the body of God. It is the logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of God. So we are that creation as we are creators. And when I really looked at this topic, it sent me, there was a lot of emotions that went on when I thought of my body as a temple. When I really thought of the fact that, yes, this is where God lives. Am I taking care of it and honoring spirit within me with what I do, what I think, what I say? Am I being that? See, when I'm not in alignment with that, I'm not at peace. When I'm trying to become, or when I'm somewhere out there, or when I am other than at peace with my peace, then I don't have that chance of being that and bringing that in the world. See, we live in a society that has all kinds of advertising telling us what we should look like or what we should have, what kind of house we should live in, what kind of car we should drive, what we should appear to be. That's not who we are. It's not what we are. Every person is built differently. We are all meant to be different pieces of that beautiful puzzle of life. It's like a mosaic. If one piece is missing, it's useless. When you have a puzzle that you've bought and you've spent hours on, if one piece is missing, you don't cut other pieces to try to make it fit. Each one is unique and each one is exactly where and what it's supposed to be. You are exactly who and how you're supposed to be. Spirit as you is magnificent. And it's knowing that and allowing for that. See, advertising is trying to sell and it wants you to be something or feel like you haven't arrived. But there is no destination. Where we need to be is within. That's where the good stuff is found. I love the Dove ads and some of the different ones. It says every body is beautiful, and it is. My body is a temple. And it says under it, I honor it always. And the question is, do I? When I ask you the question, if I just ask you to close your eyes and think about your body, what comes to mind? Give it a minute and just be in your sacred temple. Is it gratitude and appreciation for the house of spirit? Or does it go to the places like I may? It's too short or too big or too whatever it may be. Fill in the blank. It's I remember growing up, I had curly hair, so of course I wanted straight hair. And now I'm very happy with the curly hair because it's easy. But when I was growing up, I wanted what I didn't have. So the question is, do you honor what you have, or does the grass look greener somewhere else? So as we go through this, I invite you to really be in this space, which is your space, right where you are. And as we listen to Faith Rivera, I encourage you to close your eyes, listen to the words, and really scan and honor your body. This vessel that carries you around, this vessel that has incredible power to heal. Think about it. You get a paper cut or anything, and you heal. I actually had 2 major cancer surgeries. I had over a dozen tumors in my kidneys, and I have normal kidney functions today. You talk about a miracle of what the body can do. So I invite you, as you listen to these words, honor your body. Everything it does to carry you, to love and nurture you. Everything it does to allow you to align with spirit.
Where I am, God is. Where I stand, God is standing strong. Where I breathe, God is breathing life in and out and through me. Ask me where I sing. God is where I dance. Joy lives at my feet, where I live. Beauty's flowing free, in and out and through me. As me, for where I doubt, God is the faith in me. Where I cry, God is the comfort there. Where I seek, God is the answer. Here and now, forever and ever and ever. Where I speak, truth is. Where I work, love is my career. And where I play, God is playing boldly, in and out and through me. As me, oh, oh, do-do-do. Oh, hey, yeah. Where I am, where I stand, where I play, where I work and breathe and move and feel, where I sing, where I dance, my dance, my dance, wherever I go, where I pray and take and give and leave. God is, life is, joy is, oh, God is.
And knowing that, yes, Spirit is right there where I am living and breathing and having my beingness. And that's why we talk about self-care so much. That's why we encourage, as far as a life coach, that's one of the things that's most important. We forget ourselves too often in the mix. I was actually raised that thinking of yourself was selfish, when the truth is, if I'm giving to the point of depletion, then what I'm giving isn't healthy. Not only am I hurting myself, but I'm not giving you the best of me. I have a reading from Daily Word, and it's actually from Friday, December 17th of 21. And it says, I bless myself with loving care. I treasure the gift of life and delight in the wonder of my being. I honor and embrace my humanity and my divinity as I practice thoughtful self-care. I discern and respond to my body's needs. If I feel tired, I make rest a priority. If I feel restless, I get some good exercise. I nourish myself with healthy foods of every color of the rainbow. I bless my mind with inspirational readings and challenge myself by learning new things. I honor my past by recalling my fond memories. I care for my spiritual self in the company of those I love and who love me. Likewise, I seek solitude when I need some time away from others to focus my attention on God. My spiritual practices keep me steeped in the awareness of divine love, always in the eternal care of spirit. So that's what we do. We talk about these spiritual practices. We get the opportunity to remind each other of the blessings that we are, and it gives us an opportunity to really be in a place of honoring this temple. You know, how many times do we tell our children, or have you heard, well, if you're not going to take care of your toys, you're not going to get new ones. Until you can take care of it, why would I buy you something new? So until I honor my body, why would it act differently? Too often, I would block off pain or physical pain. I would ignore it. I would just keep going, to the point that I stopped finding my signals. I stopped receiving them or recognizing them or anything that went with it. There weren't limits that were acknowledged in my life. If I physically could do something, I would do it. I thought that's what I was supposed to do. It's what I was raised to do as, a caretaker. And that did not honor my body. That did not honor the best in my life, because I can do a lot of things, but I can't do them all at the same time. So when I think of being peaceful, if I am chasing my tail, trying to make everyone happy, there is no peace to be had. Most of my life was as a human doing, not as a human being. I was constantly on the move. My own business, working full time, children, the home life. Life was chaos. It's all I ever knew growing up. So therefore, I perpetuated it as an adult. When we live in a state of chaos, when we're constantly trying to get to the next thing, we are not filled with peace. Then we look at the world and we look at these stories. It's not all that's there. It's just what they advertise. And we see chaos, and it can be overwhelming at times. It can feel overwhelming. So it's about taking care of ourselves to be able to be that peace no matter what. It's being the calm in the storm. That's where faith comes in. To me, I look at faith as a life raft. Regardless of what happens, that's where I land. My faith keeps me from sinking on any given moment, any given day. We get that opportunity to recognize. But when I am blocked by what I see or what I'm doing, I'm not the conduit of spirit that I choose to be. When I'm caught up in thoughts of what's next, bigger, better, faster, more is the distraction of our society. It's got to be a bigger house. It's got to be a better vacation. It's always looking to what's next. I lose sight of how may I serve? How often do we forget that we're human beings, not human doings? So I listen to music and playlists all the time. When I get caught up in different emotions, music helps me. That's why I use so much music in the Peace Circle, because the words, the lyrics, even the tone of the music can calm me down or boost me up when I need it. The ego tells us we're not enough. That's its job, to keep us safe, to keep us away from. That's the ego's job. But I don't have to live from that place. I can live from the soul, where everything is peaceful. And I am in that place of faith, knowing that all is well and that Spirit's got this. So we get to choose, but the choosing is conscious. You have to decide, what is it that I choose to live from? What is my landing space? Ernest Holmes said, in Thoughts Are Things, your body is a temple of the living spirit. It is spiritual substance. Since the Spirit of God has entered into your being, your life is spiritual. The Supreme Being, ever present, exists at the very center of your thought. This presence within you has the power to make all things new. It's not some things new. It's not, well, yes, but nothing major. Anything can be made new. And oftentimes it's our perspective that changes everything. Too often in life we get caught, stuck with the emotions that we didn't let out, that stay right in the trauma, the drama, all of it gets caught and stuck right in on the cellular level, and we never release it. We may not even be conscious of it. But when things come up, we immediately think of other situations or circumstances, whether it's resentment, whether it's anger, whether it's sadness or grief, or, even shame. How often do we think of, certain circumstances, and there's all kinds of emotions that are there. When we're not in a balanced place, when we're not looking at things through spiritual eyes, what I see doesn't look like peace. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "The body is God's temple, but we are to worship God, not the temple." And I love this quote because it's so important, because it's not, self-care is not arrogance. Getting dressed up and taking care of ourselves is not arrogant. It's God's temple. But we're doing it for Spirit. If we disrespect ourselves and not take care of ourselves, that is not treating Spirit's gift, the house of Spirit, appropriately. But if we're more caught up in how we look than how we treat people, we're not living it. We're doing it from the ego, not from the side of Spirit. So I encourage you. Louise Hay does something called mirror work. It's looking in the mirror and saying positive affirmations. And I've had clients that could not do it. It took so much work. And then I've had other people that had no problem with it. I've done it in workshops. I've done it, for years. And it's so important that we can look ourselves in the eye and know who and whose we are. That we are more than the flesh that's before us. And that whatever it looks like, it's beautiful. So I encourage you to listen to these words and really embody them. The song I'm going to play is Beauty in You by Karen Drucker. Really recognize the beauty that lies within you.
I see the beauty in you. I see the power in you. I see the greatness in you, and so it is. I see the child in you. I see the sweetness in you. I see the softness in you, and so it is. I can see it. It's right there before me. I can feel it. my soul, I just know it, that you are an angel full of magic and power and pure sweet love. I see the goodness in you, I see the wisdom in you, I see the strength in you, and so it is. I see the joy that's in you, I see your light shining through, I see the love that's in you, and so it is. I can see it, it's right there before me. I can feel it deep in my soul. I just know it, that you are an angel full of magic and power and pure sweet love. I see the grace that's in you, I see the courage in you, and I see the heart that's in you, and so it is. And I see the beauty in you, I see the power in you, I see the greatness in you, and so it is. I see the beauty in you, I see the beauty in you, I see the power in you, I see the power in you, and I see the greatness in you, I see the greatness in you, and I see the goodness in you now, I see the goodness in you, and I see the wisdom in you, I see the wisdom in you. Oh, I see your strength, your strength, I see the strength in you, and I see your joy, 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 I see the joy in you, and I see your light shining, light, I see the light in you, and I feel the love that's in you, I see the love in you, and I see the grace that's in you, I see the grace in you, and I see the courage in you, I see the courage in you, and I see the heart in you, I see the heart in you, and so it is, and so it is, and so it is, and so it is,
And so it is. And I see it in you. I know it of you. And it's so important that as we see that beauty in others, that we recognize that we see it because there's some part of us that is it. So when we're recognizing the light in someone, the love, the joy, it's because we are that, or we wouldn't recognize it. It wouldn't register to us. You can see it's coming to sunset, so it's getting brighter and brighter. When we pay attention, that's what happens. Life gets brighter and brighter. So I invite you to really look in the mirror and honor yourself. See the light of divine in your eyes. Recognize the perfection. You know, all of the majesty of a mighty oak tree is in every acorn. That's the power, the beauty, the magic, and even an acorn. Imagine the living, breathing that you are, the temple that you are. Imagine how much love there is that is spirit. I wanted to share from 365 Science of Mind, and this is actually from August 6th. And the topic says, I live eternally in the household of God. You live in the house of God. The household of God is a household of perfection. It is the secret place of the Most High within you and within all people. The inhabitants of this household are all divine. They will become as divine to you as you permit. As you perceive them, that is how they perceive you. For this is the way of life. Everything responds to you at the level of your recognition of it. In the household of God, there is no jealousy, no littleness, nor meanness. It is a household of joy, place of happiness and contentment. Here is warmth, color, and beauty. Seen in this light, your earthly household symbolizes the kingdom of divine harmony in which no one is a stranger. Say, nothing is alien to me. Nothing enters into my experience but joy, integrity, and friendship. The good I would realize for myself, I realize for all others. I cannot desire good for myself other than the good I desire for everyone else. Neither do I deny myself the good I affirm for others. I know that in the household in which I live, the host is God, the living Spirit, Almighty. The guests are all people. The invitation has been eternally written for all to enter and dwell therein as the guests of this eternal host forever. We dwell in the household of God. This vessel, right where you are, is the household of God. Think about how different the world would be if we really treated ourselves as temples. We watched what we were mindful. We didn't watch it. We were mindful and purposeful of the words that we said and spoke to ourselves and others. We were mindful and remembered that Spirit is in this place. And every person that we saw, we were mindful that Spirit is right there. You know, we often talk about Christ consciousness and knowing that Spirit is, within each one. But how often do we get caught up in the spiritual versus the physical? Your body, your mind, and your soul are one. In this, you are a microcosm of the divine all, the holy everything, the sum and substance. You are a microcosm of the macrocosm that is God. Each one is that. And you are holy. You know, oftentimes we think of spirituality and we put it on, this divine pedestal. We think of spiritual work and it is sacred. But do we think of the physical work as sacred as well? When we practice self-care, whether it's taking a nap, taking a walk, exercising, eating healthy, do we think of that as that same sacred activity? When we're in ceremony, oftentimes I've had, people wash hands with rose petals to really signify the beauty and the ceremony of that. Do we live that way? Do we honor these vessels as sacred? Think about when we walk down the street, when we look at people of a certain age or background, or if they're acting a certain way. We're human. Oftentimes we have reactions. Sometimes people say things that are outbursts and we don't agree with. Perhaps you're reading it on a social media feed and you're outraged. It doesn't matter if you agree with what they posted. That is a vessel of divine. regardless of whether or not I agree with what is said or what is done. I know each one is pure love. And if everyone that I looked at or thought about, I saw as the temple of divine, I would treat them differently. This was a wonderful reminder for me this week as I went through it. The first thing was I treating myself that way? And I wasn't. Am I mindful of the way that I eat? Not just what I eat, but how. As I sat at the table and ate lunch today, what I had portion-wise in the past may not have been quote unquote enough. But as I took my time mindfully, purposefully, and really recognized every bite, it felt sacred in a way that it hadn't in a very long time. I became mindful because of this work this week. I became mindful of what am I putting in my body and in what manner. How often do I rush through meals? How often do I go through the day and not drink enough water? If my car needs gas, I make sure it's filled. I don't get, $1 at a time. These days, that would literally get you nowhere. But, when I go to the gas station, I see that it's on E. I don't have a choice. I take care of it. I get oil changes because I know it needs it. But am I taking care of myself that way? Am I honoring myself in the same way I would even take care of my car? And sometimes the answer is yes, and sometimes it's not. How often do we reschedule doctor's appointments? How often do we grab something quick instead of making the time to prepare our meals or whatever it may be? Being present, really being present, gives us the opportunity to appreciate the vessel that we have. So, we get choices. And I encourage you to really take this practice this week of being mindful. And as even a piece of fruit, as you eat a piece of fruit, really recognize the textures, the flavor. Take your time and whatever it may be, really be in that place of knowing that peace, knowing that within us, there's a power. And when I tap into it, even in something as sacred as dinner or lunch, when I am in communion, in that oneness, I get that. I get that awareness, consciousness, and things are heightened, all of my senses. And I am in that place of peace. That's what alignment is about. That's what being in that space is all about. Yes, so eating is a necessity, but nurturing ourselves is a blessing. And it is. So do I give myself that opportunity to really acknowledge that blessing, that I have not just something, but I have options? Absolutely. We live in a place, and I don't take it for granted at all. Yes, David Hall says, on earth as it is, it absolutely, we are in this place, heaven on earth. That's what we teach here. We teach and we know that spirit, us as us, is living in this space right here and right now. And it's about how much I recognize it. Am I recognizing that divine light? So we get that opportunity again and again to choose. And what does it look like? It shows up in the thoughts that I think, the music I listen to. It shows up as what I read, what I watch. Am I contributing? If I'm watching, I'm not a horror movie fan. If I'm watching something that's violent and hateful, am I contributing to peace in the world? If I'm speaking out against someone or something, am I pro-peace? It's a practice to be where I am and know truth. Mother Teresa said, if she wouldn't go to a rally against the war, but if you have a peace rally, I'll show up, is what she said. Because it's not about being against anything. When I'm fighting against anything, I do not have peace, nor do I have power. Being in alignment is where that power lives. And we get that opportunity again and again to celebrate instead of persecute. We get the opportunity to evolve into something more. It's remembering that whether it's physical or spiritual, it's all spiritual. See, we don't believe in separation. Science of mind doesn't believe in there's them and us. God isn't somewhere out there. God is all that there is, all that there was, and all that there will be. And when we recognize that allness, that oneness, and we don't practice the separation of it, infinite, amazing possibilities emerge. So as you go through this week, recognize yourself as that household of God, as that house of divine. And as you greet people, even in the seeming imperfections, remember that there is more to it than that. People that often fight against, it's because they're lashing out from pain. So rather than seeing it as against me, it's a pain within them. Sometimes even when people have said things that really frustrate me, I try to remember, and I say try, not always great at it. I try to remember this too is a child of divine. This too is that representation of. And by loving, we create that peace. I don't have to like what you're doing or saying, but when I don't love you, I am putting something between me and spirit, because that person is spirit too. And it's not always easy to recognize. So when we play this song, I encourage you for the next song, if there's someone or some circumstance, it's Pride Month. And I love that it's Pride Month. And I love that our movement is so loving and accepting, knowing the truth of each and all. Love is love. Wishing, it's not about wishing, it's about knowing that each one is perfect, whole, and complete. I don't need to change other people's minds. I just need to know a conviction in my mind, honor and uphold that. And as I do that, as I uphold that, I don't need to be against anyone. I just hold that knowing for what I know. So I encourage, as you listen to this, if there's someone that maybe there's a resentment or there's been anger or frustration towards anything in particular, I invite you to hold that in a loving space as you listen to the words of God's in everyone. This is actually Gary Lynn Floyd and Jamie Lula, and I love this song because Spirit is in everyone.
Everything beneath the sun breathes like a harmonium. Pure perfection has begun, shining like a midnight sun. Out of darkness I have come I see God in everyone. Let me be an instrument, guided by an heaven sent. May these grapes of pain ferment, alchemize to love's content, ever be a sacrament, knowing God is my intent. God, let me know your name. Hold me in the same breath as your word. God, I feel you all around. Oh, how you astound me with your grace. Rolling like a thundercloud, let me live my love out loud, standing for mankind and proud, baptized in a holy shroud. Peace be still and know me now. God is in all I have found. God, let me know your name. Hold me in the same breath as your word. Oh God, I feel you all around. Oh, how you astound me with your grace. God, let me know your name. Hold me in the same breath as your word.
Knowing what I'm here for, rubbing on to distant shores,
oh, how you astound me with your praise.
God in everyone, oh,
spinning like a prayer field, turning like Ezekiel's wheels, jumping like a kiss, seals the spirit I've become. Knowing what I'm here for, rolling on the distant shore, flowing from the infinite, God in everyone. Out of darkness I have come. I see God in everyone.
That song is so powerful. It often brings me to tears. It's a wonderful reminder, and I set myself up with many reminders, especially these days. When life seems most difficult is when I need to stay most connected. We're perfect. We're born that way. You are enough right here and right now. You are perfect, whole, and complete, regardless of what you're seeing or seems like in any moment. Within us is everything we need, and it's remembering that. And when I do, I am a, I'm a catalyst for divine. That is when I am connected, tuned in, turned on, and able to be that highest and best self. That's when I best use the gifts that Spirit has given me. That's when we're able to get all the stuff out of the way and live the happy, joyous, and free life, that peace beyond understanding. So I thank you for helping me to cover this topic today. I thank you for being here. And I have one last reading that I wanted to share. And it's from another one of my favorite books, which is Creative Idea by Ernest Holmes. And the topic is The Divine Flows Through Me. For the wise have said that Spirit produces everything, nourishes everything, and maintains everything. It flows through and is in all things, being all that is. There is nothing outside of it. There is a spiritual presence pervading in our consciousness, always proclaiming itself to be the source of our being. The enlightened ones of the ages have told us that our recognition of life is God within us, recognizing itself in everything that we do. In the prayer that goes with it, it says, I know there is one mind, one spirit, and one body. The mind and spirit of the body of God. The universal wholeness, the ever-present good, the all-sustaining life. I dismiss and discard all thoughts and feelings which tend to deny this and accept the action of divine creative spirit as now perfectly manifesting in every organ, function, and action of my body. I now become aware that the one mind is acting through my body in accord with its own divine perfection, peace, and harmony. The divine circulates through me automatically, freely. Every atom of my being is animated by its action. I know that at all times I have a silent partner walking with me, talking with me, operating through me. I accept this divine flow. And so it is. So thank you for being here. And I accept that divine flow on behalf of each one watching and each one in the allness that is life. There is no us and them. There is only the one. And the more we align individually, personally, within our own temple, and we see each one as temples of divine, we would never walk into a church, a synagogue, and be disrespectful. Every time we look and speak to another person, that's just another house of divine. And we get the opportunity to honor it that way. So thank you for being here. And I'm grateful for this network to give me the opportunity to be here, for us to come together for this highest, absolute, joyous knowingness of peace. Please go to ntmedia.org and click on the donate button. It allows us to do what we do, whether it's a one-time donation or a monthly. We appreciate everything and anything, knowing that whatever you give gives us the opportunity to reach more and more people with good news, with the opportunity of the truth and the light within to radiate greater on the out, so that we are that change we wish to see in the world. So thank you for joining me at the Peace Circle. I appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Remember, we have so much good here. Stay tuned. Every day we have 8 a.m. and It's 8:15 a.m. and p.m. Mountain Time, 10:15 a.m. and p.m. where I am. We have prayers twice a day where we know that highest and best. We come together for the good. And I encourage you to join us. Know that there's also a team here we have an entire team of people. Prayer at ntmedia.org. Again, it's prayer at ntmedia.org. You can email us any prayer requests, knowing that we are holding your highest and best. So until next week, remember to stay tuned to New Thought Media Network and be that love you wish to see in the world, because we get that opportunity to be at peace, bring about peace, celebrate peace. Blessings and love. Namaste.